First of all, I would like to pay my highest respect to His Excellency Professor Nekbarong, Vice President of the International University. Greetings, judges, management teams, lecturers, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sandy Sim, a first-year medical student from the Faculty of Medicine and Pediatrics. I'm glad to be here today and present you a topic which stated that mental health issues affect us all in some ways. But before we dive deep into the topic, let me define what mental health issue is. Mental health issues or mental illness or mental disorders refer to a health conditions which involving changes in emotions, thinkings, and behavior or combinations of these. And mental health illness can be associated with distress or problems functioning in social, work, and family activities. As we all know, all of us have mental health. All of us have the brain that we care for in a similar way that we care for physical well-being. And our heads and our bodies are connected by much more than just our neck after all. You know, mental health illness, sometimes they manifest itself in some physical ways like nausea, headaches, fatigue, or shortness of breath. It is hard to know who are suffering from these symptoms. You never know who might be the people affected. It can be the ones who are close to you, like your family, your friends, your siblings, your relatives, or even the ones sitting right next to you. You don't know who are suffering because they are emotionally unstable, who are having dark thoughts, who are hallucinating and hearing voices in their heads, and those who have anxiety. You don't know because mental illness doesn't always show on the outside. But because it doesn't simply show, some people at high risk of mental illness, when they feel suspicious, they kind of go out and seek for social companionship, while others, they tend to isolate themselves from people. So you see, these two exact opposite mechanisms show us that everyone's patterns is different. But again, we need to talk about this because even though we know that what kind of symptoms someone has, we don't automatically know where this will lead them to and how it will affect us. But the answer is that yes, it does affect us. The point is that mental illness influences the onset, development, and the effects of physical illness. Research found that mental illness will decrease the life expectancies by 20 years. This is based on a study published in 2019 in the Lancet Psychiatry. People with depression have 40% higher chance to develop a cardiac disease, hypertension, stroke, and diabetes compared to the general populations. And these statistics highlight that public health and mental health are two sides of the same coin. People with mental disorder, they kind of consume substances that are harmful to their health than the normal people. And it is reported that 37% of people with severe mental illness, they smoke cigarettes, while only 16% of people without mental disorder smoke. And nearly a third of the adults who have severe mental health issues are binge drinkers, compared to a quarter of people without mental health problems who report binge drinking. Not only that, mental health issues affect the people relationships. Poor mental health problems, they affect people relationship with their friends, their families, their relatives, spouses, or their siblings. And normally, this will lead to problems like social isolations. And social isolations will disrupt the people's communications and interactions with others. And this will have a particularly harmful effects to children and adolescents whose development depends wholly on forming bonds with their families and friends. Because in most children that they have their family members who suffer from mental illness, they will feel the loneliness and the feeling of being different, being left out. And in the future, this can lead to social problems. For adulthood, the social isolations will lead to family breakdown, divorce, or childhood neglect. Not only that, the mental problems, they will put an emotional and financial strain on the family. For example, a family that's trying to address their child's mental problems, they're trying to cure it, but they will exhaust untold funds in search of treatment. And individuals, family members, they will struggle to cope with their own symptoms, which require supports like depressions or sleeping problems. In addition, There are evidences which suggest that mental illness can affect the educational success because many children experiencing mental disorder, they will find it difficult to build a healthy and positive relationship with their teachers, and they find it difficult to feel concentrated, difficult to feel motivated, and difficult to follow the school rules, which can affect the learning process. And lastly, mental disorder may also lead to struggle at work. It makes the people feel distracted, it reduces concentration, and reduces the person's productivities. Reduced productivities can limit one's ability to earn promotions, to excel, and to build a successful relations with their supervisors and co-workers. Not only that, mental health disorder will lead to absences at work. And this will lead to job loss or reduced hours. When there's job loss, it leads to loss of health insurance. And it reduces the person's abilities to get access to health care. So it means that there will be more untreated health conditions and inability to get preventive care. And it will also affect the person's ability to earn a living, which leads to poverty. And it affects the person's ability to find housing and get proper education. So in conclusion, as you can see that mental health issues is something that concerns us all because it is so common and because it comes in so many shades and colors from mild to severe. It can be challenging to deal with, but it is not impossible to overcome it. Reaching out and keeping an open mind are very important to understand ourselves and one another better. And this in itself can already help lessen the impact of mental health issues for everyone for a better outcome because a great life starts with a strong mind and a strong body. Thank you.